If you feel like an imposter, then you need to take on a student's mentality. Feeling like an imposter is something that everyone goes through at every stage of their life. Like whether if you're starting a new job or you are in a current job, you're taking on new challenges, you're starting a business, you're trying to be an expert in your field, and you are stricken with this feeling that someone's going to find me out. Someone's going to find out that I'm actually a fraud. I'm not actually doing this for real. And it happens all the time. Happens all the time. And I see that over and over again in my coaching practice. A lot of the folks that I work with as coaching clients, they have some sort of expertise that they're helping people with. So for example, I came across someone who is a YouTube specialist. So he helps other YouTubers build content. Especially people who are in the beginner part of their YouTube journey. And he was telling me, he's like, I feel like such an imposter because if you walk over to my YouTube channel, I don't have that many subscribers. I don't have that many views. And I feel like I'm not really doing the things that I'm supposed to do. So who am I to go out there and actually give people advice on how to run their YouTube channel? So I was like, well, you know, that's perfectly normal. First of all, I think it doesn't matter. Even if you had 100 million subscribers, which nobody does yet. But if you did, at some point, you're going to feel like, who am I to really teach people this stuff? So really, the solution is so simple, and it seems like so counter, is to take on a student's mentality. So when you feel like you're not the know-it-all, you're not the master of it, take on a student's mentality. And that's the best way to be, because when you're learning and you're constantly growing, so what does a student do? They take in all the information, they apply it, and then they apply it to their real life. And when you do that, you are taking action. And when you're taking action, the imposter cannot live while you're taking action. So that's the thing. Try to learn as much as possible. The reality is even the most experienced of people, of experts out there, they're still continuing to learn in their field, and that's how much they get better. So regardless if you're a beginner or you're an intermediate or you are an expert in your field, to cure the imposter syndrome is to really just learn as much as you can. And it doesn't mean that just because you're a student, you're learning, doesn't mean that you can't teach other people too, because you can. Yeah, I know it seems counter, but that is the best way to approach it. Even if you're not feeling an imposter syndrome, you should still take a student's mentality, because we all have so much to learn. At this point, I'm going to walk over to the chat and say hello. I do see someone in the chat. I know it's Saturday night. Saturday night, you guys are probably having a good time. We got Stephen Harris in the house. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing? We got, what is he saying? He said, my wife and I are watching this together. Great job. I feel like this every Sunday when I preach who I am. Oh, what do you mean, Pastor Steve? Like, do you feel like a student or you feel like an imposter? Can you specify? Okay, I'm going to wait for Pastor Steve to answer that question. And hello to your wife, Mrs. Harris. Nice to see you. Okay. And that's the thing. So Pastor Steve is talking about when he's preaching at the church. He is a pastor, and you feel like a bit of an imposter because you're like, who am I to tell people the way of life? Who am I to actually preach these things? If that's what you're talking about, being an imposter, maybe you're taking on a student's mentality, which is a different thing altogether. Okay, let's see what's going on. What is he saying? Like an imposter. Okay, all right. Okay. So that's what he's talking about. So if you feel like an imposter, one of the ways is what I talked about, is taking on a student's mentality. Always come from a place of a beginner's mindset, that you're always learning. And another thing too, to kind of help with that, Pastor Steve, is understand that you have the knowledge and you have the enthusiasm and the energy to help other people, which is what I have done. When I first started as a coach, I had a lot of knowledge and I had a lot of education behind me, but I didn't have the practical experience to really make myself feel like I deserve to actually coach people. So I took on that student's mentality. Every time I got off a coaching client session, I was like, how could I have done that better? and I would find ways to make it better. And every single time, I still do it till this day. Every time I leave a phone call or a Google Hangout, I try to figure out, what can I have done better here? What can I do better? And I get better every single time I do a session. I get better. So hopefully that will help you too in understanding that you can help, and you are already helping. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, wow. Yeah, Pastor Steve, why God would choose me? Yeah, you know, whether if you're a pastor or you are a coach or whatever the case might be, you always feel like, why me? You know, what makes me so special that I could be doing this? You are special. And that's the thing. You know, there's a reason why you are in your position. You belong there. I think that's another thing that's really important. I know I'm kind of like straying away from the student's mentality, but understanding that you belong there. That is your place. And that's why God chose you, Pastor Steve. Okay, what do we got? We got Clifford Starks. What's up, Lily? Having family time now, just dropping by to say hi and hope all's well. Well, Clifford, it's really nice to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Well said, Lily. And same to you, Stephen and Green Girl. Okay, beautiful. Actually, it is a Saturday night, so I'm going to take off. I have some more work to do and spend some time with my husband as well. So I hope you guys are having an amazing evening, having an amazing time with your family, whatever it is that you're doing. There is one thing, you know, none of us are imposters here. The only way we're imposters is we try to, you know, steal something from other people. But if you're coming from a place of service, you're coming from a place that you want to help people, you want to help others grow, you're going to grow in the process. And really, great way to understand belong. Beautiful. Really, you are exactly where you want to be, and you're exactly where you should be. So don't worry about it. You belong there. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. And this has been a quick one because it's a Saturday night. Have an amazing night. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow night for another episode of Coach's Corner. Bye-bye, guys. Have an amazing evening. Bye-bye.